What's going on, guys? So welcome to this video. The upcoming 20 minutes is going to teach you how I would save on a $45,000 net income, and if I was a single male, 25, and lived in Toronto City, one of the most expensive cities in Canada. So let's get right into it. Let's get into the details. Set aside the time block if you're serious about digging into this kind of information and just seeing my example and how I can take unique situations and still figure out ways where I would make it work and create a plan for myself. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? So I'm making this video because I'm going to be breaking down saving money on a $45,000 a year salary and how I would do it. Because I did have a lot of objections from people. When I talk about saving money, they talk about like my current situation on how I lowered my expenses and then how I work at a higher income job and such. But the art of money management doesn't just apply just because I make more money and I do have low expenses. I effectively kept myself in that situation and managed to find other ways to lower expenses by making sacrifices. And I would do the same if I was on a lower salary. I'd be saving a lot less, but I'd still be saving, and I would have a plan, and I would still be saving something. And then with consistency and time, by the end of a year, it would still effectively probably more savings, a higher savings rate than most people. But of course, if you do increase your income and lower your expenses, then you're actually going to be rapidly increasing your wealth. And you really lower the time frame to achieve your financial goals, which is what people need to realize. And anyways, I'm gonna go down to what I actually wrote, so it's a little bit more straightforward. So I want people to face some facts, right? So number one, you are probably living above your means, and the sooner you accept that you could be happier with less things and be happier with financial security than with more things and being in tremendous debt and one bad economic crisis away from bankruptcy, you actually achieve extreme peace of mind, and you need to realize that. Number two, you need to understand if you decide to make sacrifices, especially if they're extreme, you aren't going to never ever enjoy material things in your entire life. You're simply delaying gratification right now and needing to borrow money now to give your money a chance to grow and earn money on its own. The problem is it seems slow at first, so most people actually lack the patience and they just ignore their finances like the elephant in the room, and they never want to face the music, right? So you don't need to be a mastermind overnight and great at this. Just start by acknowledging that there's an issue with your finances, or acknowledging that you need to develop a plan, and then develop an interest in understanding it. And then you just bite-size information and you start very small. You start with 10% of your income, or you could even just start with $50 a month. Just start small, start doing it, and then start developing an interest in it. And then once your interest is peaked, you're gonna intrigued. I mean, you're gonna keep wanting to learn more slowly, and then eventually it'll become a habit, a routine, and you get addicted to it. And then over time, you just get better at it, right? And three, too many loans that'll eat all your free cash flow. It basically makes you stuck, and now you're at the complete mercy of the banks and rising inflation and creditors and all that. So basically, you paying all this interest on all these loans right now, so your free cash flow every month is paying all this interest and stuff. You're actually effectively reducing your earning power from the money that you actually make right now. So like, if you're paying 20% interest, say, on a credit card, and it's compound to boot, and you owe a lot of credit card debt, like, that is an investment against yourself. Like, you are effectively reducing your earning power by like pretty much 20% compounded on that amount. So this is the way I view it anyways. It's a inverted investment pretty much. Investments is positive investment, and then I look at credit cards and certain debts as inverted investment. So it just, when you view it that way, you are literally making them, they're making an investment in your debt and making money off you. It really puts you in an uncomfortable position. And you when you think of it that way, you don't want to be in that position anymore, right? So there's many more to talk about along like pointers like that. But I'll do that in another video, or you can hire me for coaching. But let me break down what I would do and get to the numbers if I made $45,000 a year. And I want to put it in perspective, and there's so many different unique scenarios, which is why it's good to have a coach, somebody that knows what they're doing, because every scenario is different. So it always comes down to breaking down the numbers and then pinpointing and making a plan, right? But let's say for this situation, don't mind my cat in the background, $45,000 after tax. So that's $3,750 a month that I'm earning. I'm a single male and I live in Toronto. And well, first of all, I'm in the city. So right then and there, that tells me I can get almost anywhere actually by train. I've been there to travel through there to get to work before, and I could go almost everywhere with train and then walking distance from places, right? So, okay, spook. Every time I want to make a video, she comes in. So right there, I'm sacrificing my want for a vehicle, which is huge. But if you live in a small city like myself with poor public transportation, then unless you're closer to where you work, you may need a vehicle. But anyways, I'm gonna lay down expenses and how I'd reduce them if I lived in Toronto and not where I currently live. Because right now I get a bus ride to my work, and I work at a camp mining job. So like I sacrificed the luxury of having a nice vehicle and I sold it. And it was hard to bite the bullet, to be honest. I love that thing, and I put a lot of money into it after, but that's the thing, right? It was sinking money, the fuel prices, and the amount of time I could work. I get free food where I work and everything. Like, it just made sense to make the short-term sacrifices to get rid of it right now. I had to bite that bullet, and you know what? It's hard at first, but then after you realize, wow, like, it's okay. Like, because I started walking more, I got to, if I see an old lady on the street or something that needs help with something, I was able to help. I'm like, this is the kind of stuff I would never be able to do if I was just driving around all the time. But anyways, back on topic. So my rent is $1,800 a month. My utilities $100 a month. Internet $80 a month. Spotify, just random stuff, $10 a month. Car payment $300 a month. Car insurance $300 a month. Gas $400 a month. Groceries $400 a month. Leftover cash $360. So that's literally like nothing. And obviously, me personally, I have unforeseen expenses always in there, right? So $360 cash left over. It's not a lot. And you probably ate takeout, oh yeah, I forgot to put in the gym membership. So if a gym membership's $50 a month, that puts you at $310 a month after gym. So like, really, that's not a lot of money, right? But so I want to get to the point where the first thing I do is I focus on paying myself first. And this is all going to make sense in a minute here, but I first focus on paying myself first. So determine the percent of money that your goal that you want to save. Don't mind all these expenses yet, all right? What is the money you want to save? So $3,750 a month. I want to save 10% to start. That's $375 a month. If you're 25 and $375 a month in a passive ETF, which is a whole other video, that could be $1.3 million after when you invest that $375 for a lifetime by the time you're 65 at retirement. So now, of course, you can see the potential if you make great sacrifices and increase your income. You could slash that time to millionaire status by even like 2/3. My goal is for my mid-30s. So, I mean, that's the power of it. So now, how are we going to achieve this? Well, first of all, I'm a single, like, remember, every situation is different, right? I'm a single male in this situation, and I live in Toronto. I'm renting a 1-bedroom. What I would do, first of all, I just looked, I found a 2-bedroom for $1,850, all right? 2-bedroom for $1,850. So that, I would get a roommate right there. I'd find a roommate, and boom, right there, I slash rent by 50%. Now you're gonna say, well, I can't stand living with people, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? This is why I'm saying sacrifices. These are the sacrifices that you make in certain luxuries to get to where you want to be quicker. And if you don't like that, then you got to figure out a way to increase your income as well. But regardless, it's the way I would do it. Like right now, I get a cheap discount on rent because it's a family-owned property. But even if I paid, like, I still save an amount right now to where I could be paying $1,200 a month in rent and I'd still be saving a decent amount of money. It's not because of this specific scenario. And even then, even though I pay cheap, I'm still looking for a roommate right now to pay even cheaper. It's just it's the game. It's an art of just wanting to reduce expenses right now, because you got a goal and a vision in mind and you want to build that. And that is the key right there, is what is your reason that you want to save more money? Just to get out of debt? You want to buy a big purchase later on? You want generational wealth? Like, what is it, right? Peace of mind is just a huge thing in itself. So anyways, slash rent by 50%. So that will be, see, now a lot of people will be like, oh, you teach finance, blah, blah, blah. Why you suck at math? I can't do good mental math at all. You don't need to be good at investing or anything and do good mental math. I use a calculator. Screw that. So $925 a month now is what my rent will be. So that's the revised version. Now utilities, 100 a month still, or you could probably split it with your partner. So we'll say we split it, so that's 50 a month each. Okay, so that's reduced by another 50%. Internet, you guys split the internet. See, this is what's awesome. So $40 a month each in internet now. Okay. Now you still keep your Spotify. Car payment. I'm in Toronto, like I said, everywhere I can get public transportation. I just sacrificed my car, and I'm biting the bullet and I'm taking public transportation. I literally just saved $6, $7, $8, $9, $1,000 a month right there, just by the car. The car is a huge thing. It is so expensive to own a luxury of a vehicle right now, and you really got to determine if you need it. Now, obviously, if you have a like every situation is different. Like I said, if you have a big family and you guys do stuff, and you know, on top of that, your family, your household income is probably a lot higher because you got two people bringing in incomes. Every situation is different, which is why I think you need a coach, because a coach knows how to break down everything and make a plan. And well, what he would do, or coach you, like, you know, guide you, take your hand right through it. So right then and there, I would sacrifice the car insurance, the gas, and the bus membership. I think, like, what is it for Presto bus in Toronto membership or whatever, something like that. I think it's like $156 for a monthly pass. All right, so now I sacrificed all this and I turned it into $156 payment. Now groceries, $400 a month still. Okay, so these are sacrifices I made. I slashed my rent in half by getting a roommate. That effectively slashed my utilities in half. That slashed my internet in half. I got rid of my car because I could use public transportation to get to my place and my job. And I turned all my car expenses right there only into $156 a month in transportation. I got $50 for a gym membership, and I got $400 a month in groceries, which I could probably even increase now because I could eat better, or I could have more buffer room for if I want to go out and stuff, because I made other sacrifices. So not only like sacrificing certain things, you could still, now you can kind of afford to add in other luxuries still that are a lot less cheaper, but provide more quality. Like you can go to a spa or something, or all because you just don't have a dumb car payment, all this gas and all this insurance to pay, when you could have just made the sacrifice to take public transportation. Just like that, right? So now we're going to calculate all this with our new and revised expenses. How much leftover cash do I have, right? So $3,750. Now our new rent amount is $925 because we got a roommate. Utilities, $50. Internet, $40. We still got Spotify. Oh yeah, I forgot to factor in a phone bill, so I'll just throw that phone bill in right now. Let's say $120, which is pretty high end. I pay, I think, $140 for 2 lines, so I mean, so $120. Gym membership, $50. Groceries, $400. And Presto Pass for public transportation, $156 a month. Leftover cash, $1,999, just because you made certain sacrifices right there. So now you could literally save $1,000 a month, and you could have $1,000 extra to go out, do activities, all this stuff. And you can still save $1,000 a month, which is $12,000 a year. $12,000 a year invested into an index fund, average compound returns. And this is obviously, everything fluctuates and it's different. This isn't guaranteed, but this just shows you the potential of what you're missing out on by just not making sacrifices, right? So 1,000 compound interest calculator. Let's go right here. Now let's say $1,000 a month, compound interest. So let's just go 10%. I put 12% in the other one because that's what it's been for the last like 15 years, but let's factor in some dark times, I guess. Initial balance, $1,000. Now you deposit $1,000 monthly, okay, 40 years. Calculate that. That's $6.3 million by retirement if you're 25 years old. Isn't that crazy? That means in 10 years, so you're 25, by 35 you'd have 207,000 in their balance, but by 45 you would have 800,000. Now this is just an example. Now this is $45,000. This doesn't mean throughout your lifetime, as you grow older, you can look at getting a better job, getting a promotion, improving your income, but keep your same scenario available, and you'll see like how much of a difference it is. When you go from $45,000 income to a $90,000 net income, you kept your expenses the same, you can save like quite a bit of money. Like if you manage to do that, you'd be looking at what, 4,000, let's say $90,000 net income divided by 12, $7,500 a month. Quickly punch in all these numbers again because I forgot to total them all up. 100 minus 50 minus 40 minus 999 minus 400 for groceries minus 50 for gym membership minus 156 for Presto Pass. You have $5,869 left over after expenses if you made these sacrifices and increased your net income. So that's just an example. Now, if you spend an extra $869 on whatever you wanted in a month, whatever you wanted, you can increase your food, you can go out more, you can do other activities. $869 a month you can still do quite a bit of things, honestly, in moderation. Or you could even spend more. You could spend $1,869 and save $4,000 a month. If you did $4,000 a month, all right, this is where things really start to be like, whoa, you know, that's 25 million by retirement. But obviously, like, your plan's gonna fluctuate probably over time. But if you stuck to an extreme saving plan like this, if you stuck to extreme saving plan of $4,000 a month for say 10 years, and then after that you wanted to spend more of your income and just let your investments grow on their own. Well, we'll go with 12 years just so we can hit that 7-figure mark. 12 years of being strict and grinding and saving $4,000 a month. 12 years really isn't that much. Like, it is, but it isn't. Time's gonna fly. And like I said, you're still spending all this extra money because you made other sacrifices. So you're still enjoying life. That $1,800 you spend a month, extra or whatever, if you increase your income like this, you can go on trips. Like, you could actually put that money aside instead of spending it every month and go on trips still a couple times a year. Like, you could still do stuff and still save a lot of money. So 12 years would be $1.1 million. So by the time you are 37 years old, you'd be a millionaire if you started at 25. You start at 20, it's by 32 years old. So that's why the power is starting earlier. But even, that's what I mean, it's not too late though. Even if you're 40, you start doing that now and found a way to get out of debt first, or whatever your situation is. It's possible, it's doable still. It's never too late, right? So obviously the first example, it's doable to still have a good retirement, still spend some money if you make sacrifices and you wanted to stay on a $45,000 a year salary. So that's just my video, just to prove what sacrifice could do for you, and you know, just being happy with less and focusing more on less material things and having more cash flow, and then you can use your extra savings to even afford still more experiences, you know what I mean? So experiences are a lot cheaper than a car payment and the gas and all that stuff usually. So now, like I said, every situation is unique, but most of the time the problem is we just don't want to make the sacrifices because our ego gets in the way. My ego almost got in the way of me selling my car, and I realized I really am doing okay without it, but it was really like, it was hard to swallow, man. So have a good day, guys. This is a long video, but it's insightful for those that decided to watch. Thank you.